Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have lots and lots of plants, and in the past you guys have all really enjoyed my planting videos, so I wanted to bring you guys another plant with me video. This one's going to be a little bit different because these are all indoor plants. Indoor plants have so many benefits for the air, and I think that they just look so nice. So I'm hoping that I can keep all of these little guys alive. I'm really excited to bring these into my home and watch them grow and thrive, hopefully. And since I have a pretty diverse selection, I wanted to share them with you and just the whole process, what I know about each plant, the different planters that I have purchased, where all this stuff came from. I will give all of the information. I'll probably be doing a part 2 to this video as I bring more plants in, but I did stick with easy plants, easy to care for. I have done some research on these and all of them seem to be pretty maintenance free. At least that is what I am hoping. So some of these require more light than others, of course. Some require more water. But with summer kind of coming to an end and the outdoor planting days behind us for this year, I wanted to just share with you guys what you can include inside of your home during the fall and the dreaded winter months, just to bring some life inside of your homes. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this video. Alright, so here are the 3 plants that I'm going to be starting out with. I have owned all 3 of these plants in the past, and I can say from personal experience, these are some super simple plants, especially if you're not too familiar or comfortable with indoor plants and you don't want to invest a ton of money just to end up with a bunch of dead indoor plants. I would say that these are a really good starter, just because these are actually difficult to kill. So these are just a very low maintenance type of a plant. So here you can see the name of this one. I did purchase all 3 of these ones from a local plant nursery. And then here is the name of the larger one, along with the price that I paid. And of course, buying from a nursery is going to cost a little bit more, but I do think that the plants, in my opinion, again, all my opinion with this stuff, but I do believe that the plants that are purchased from nurseries just are in a little bit better health when they come home. So that is usually why I choose to shop at this particular nursery. Back to these 2 variations of this plant. Like I said, it's very maintenance free. It doesn't require much water at all, and it also doesn't require too much sun. So these are perfect for those like shadier spots. I am going to be using this Miracle Grow potting mix. Here's how this first little arrangement turned out. Next up, I have a type of rubber plant here, and I will be very honest, this one has probably been the greatest challenge of the ones that I am sharing with you guys today. Some of these I have had for about a week and a half, and then others I have had for a while. So this one I've actually had, I want to say about 2 months. And I believe what is wrong with this one, as you can see right over here, like the browning of the leaves in the back there, and there's some more brown spots on a few other of the leaves. But I think what has happened is just neglect on my part. And like I said, I did not purchase any plants that are super hard to care for, but in all honesty, I haven't cared for this one much at all. It is still, if you can see here, it is still in its little plastic starter pot. And what I have found with this one is that it does need a good amount of sunlight. And I think that just having the starter pot kind of far down in this metal bucket that I have here, I think that trying to get light to the soil and the roots has just been more difficult. That I'm hoping that once it is planted, fully in this pot. It will receive all of the light that it needs. Those are my tips on this. I love the leaves though. The variation of color and just pattern I think is absolutely beautiful. And the good sign about this is that I do have some new growth right here and then also right here. So while these leaves on the bottom here are not too happy, it isn't doing too bad. And like I said, I've had it for a couple of months now. Now that it is going to be planted properly and getting the sunlight that it needs, I think I should have no issues going forward. So I'm just going to be planting this one in this metal bucket. So here's how this one turned out. I'm really excited to hopefully see some improvements with this one. This guy looks happier already. And since I forgot to show this one while it was still in the nursery pot, here is, I guess, the technical name. There's the price that I paid. And then I also wanted to share with you guys this. This is a new to me product. I found these on Amazon. They are plant food spikes by the brand Miracle Grow. It says that it feeds all flowering and foliage houseplants. So I am not sure how well these work, but I'm going to give these a try. Here is a little bit of the info on the back here in case you are interested in trying these out as well. So for the trickier plants that I can kind of tell are a little bit more maintenance than, let's just say, the snake plant or some pothos, I'm going to be using these just to give them that extra boost. So I'm definitely going to be adding a couple of these to my rubber plant over here. Okay, so I just placed 2 of the little plant food spikes, one right over here and then the other right over here. I'm going to be placing a third just because of the size of the plant and the pot. Going by the directions, it actually says to use 6 of these little food spikes, but I'm only going to use 3. So all you have to do is push this into the soil. So this little thing just kind of makes a hole, and then you just place the food stick right in that hole that you made and then press it down until it's covered by soil. So super simple to put these in there, and hopefully they make some sort of a difference. Next up, I have this vintage stoneware crock that I purchased from a lady on Facebook Marketplace. It is a 5-gallon crock. It's got tons of character. It's got a couple cracks in it. And then inside of here, I have a few different variations of pothos. And potho plants are another really forgiving, really easy to care for indoor plant. So my vision for this one is for the pothos to kind of like overflow this crock, and as they grow, I just want them to kind of overflow downward and just make a very nice lush appearance. The other really cool thing about pothos is that you can clip them and then propagate them to create more plants. So that is definitely something I want to try with these once they get a little bit more established and grow, and I will definitely take you guys along for that. I also have these pothos on the side here, and I'll use those in here if I need more of like a fuller look, but right now I just have 3 of them inside. And then really quick, here is the tag information, and this one is a pearls and jade variation, and then the other type that I have here is Marble Queen. Ones do not require too much light. They do need some sunlight, and they also are pretty forgiving if you forget to water them for a couple days like I have in the past. Pot number 3 is complete. So I did end up using 4 plants instead of the originally planned 3, just because, like I said, the look that I'm going for is just super full. I'm hoping that with some water and some sunshine, we will achieve that look within the next like 3 months or so. Next up, I am going to begin working on some of the smaller plants because I have 1 bag of this left, and I'm just not sure that I will get around to doing these smaller ones. If I do, the last big one, which is that huge monstera over there. That's going to require a lot of soil, and I just don't think I have enough for all of these. So I think I will leave this guy for part 2, and we will just finish up with the smaller guys for today. So right now I'm going to get this one planted. This one has to be one of my top 3 favorites, along with the rubber plant and the monstera. You can see the info on this one. It was $25. It is a string of pearl, and this one definitely needs to be in a hanging basket just because of all of its beautiful overhang that it has. I think that this is so cute. I definitely want to find a couple more different variations like this. I am looking for string of hearts currently. It's a little bit more sparse looking, but still just so cool. I love how this one looks. So I do have a macrame like hanger right over here that this one will go into. Okay, this one was much harder to plant. Taking it out of its starter plant was a little bit awkward. And then getting it positioned in the macrame hanger was also a bit of a challenge. I even have some casualties that did not make it. I was trying really hard to like untangle all of these so that they kind of all just like flowed down nicely and didn't look all bunched up and knotted together. That one was a challenge, but I love how it looks. And I didn't mention that I am using a terracotta pot that I purchased from Home Depot, and then right underneath that I just have a plastic tray or dish to catch any water, of course. But moving right along, I have this next pot and plant. I do not know if I even have the name. Not sure how to pronounce that, but this one I picked up from Home Depot, and this has been inside of my home for the longest amount of time. I've had this since May, I believe, April or May, and it's just been living and thriving in the plastic starter pot. You can see my setup for the last several months. I have just been using plastic bags to prop it up. And then a little bit of info on this pot here. I picked this one up from Hobby Lobby. Alright, this one has been planted, and just a little bit of information on this specific plant. This is another one that is very maintenance free. It does not require direct sunlight, pretty easy. I have seen so much new growth since bringing it home. You can see there are 2 new leaves right over here unfurling and growing, and right now it does look a little bit more wilted than normal. I just need to water it. It's been a while since I watered this one, and as soon as I water it, it will perk right back up. This is definitely another one of those plants like the snake plant and the pothos that are great for beginners. Okay, so I'm going to plant these 2 Chinese evergreens. They were $6 each, and I'm going to be planting those in this metal planter that I found, I don't know, back in January or February at TJ Maxx. This planter has some short little legs on it. It's got like a distressed white and dark gray pattern throughout it, super cute. And I just thought that these darker colored leaves would pair up really nicely with the brighter white color of this one. Okay, here's how this one turned out. I love it. I think it's like the perfect amount of foliage for this size pot. And this one I don't have too much experience in, this Chinese evergreen. But after looking it up, it looks like it's pretty easy. Pretty good one for beginners. It doesn't require any direct light. It requires medium to low light, I believe is what I read. Nothing about what I read on this one looks too complicated or intimidating for beginners. so I will just have to let you guys know in an updated video. Next up, I am going to be planting this Pothos. This is another different variation from, so this plant I have had for so long. This has been well over 6 months living in the little plastic starter pot, and now it's finally going to be upgraded to this larger wicker basket. I love this. I purchased this from Hobby Lobby, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I did already begin filling it up with dirt. It is lined with plastics. And one tip I wanted to mention when I'm planting indoor house plants or outdoor flowers, what I usually do before I take the plant out of this little plastic container here is I just let this excess fall right into the pot. So anything extra I just kind of let it go in there, and then there's usually a little bit of excess. There's usually more than what is in here, but I will just pour whatever is left right on top of the plant. Like I said, usually there's a lot more inside of here than what I'm left with this one, but I always just make sure to use every piece of dirt, soil, fertilizer, what have you, that comes with the plant itself. Alright, this one is planted and ready to be brought inside. I'm moving on. I have another Pothos. This one's a little bit smaller. I'm going to be planting this one in this terracotta pot that I purchased from Home Depot. I did spray paint this white, and then I did add some distressing marks on it. It was a very simple look to achieve. I thought about doing this to a couple other of my pots, but just haven't gotten around to it yet. So if you would like a little quick DIY tutorial on how to take a simple terracotta pot, which are pretty inexpensive, and kind of give it more of a vintagey, rustic look, let me know and I will film that video. It's very, very simple. I was actually looking at some other techniques on how to age and distress terracotta pots that I would love to try out. So maybe I will include those other techniques that I have found and kind of looked up in that video as well. But for now, I'm going to get to planting this one in here. All right, here is the finished product. I think I'm going to be placing this in another macrame hanger. Moving right along, I have this little aloe vera plant. This is another one that's been around for a while, so I'm not going to really even have to do much to this. I'm just going to take it out of the starter, give it a tiny bit more room to grow, add some soil, and this one's going to be good to go. The aloe vera plant requires very little water, very little attention or care, so this is another really good one for beginners. All right, here is our last few plants, I promise. I hope this video is not too long, but obviously I had a lot to share. So this is a ZZ plant. It's a variation of a ZZ plant. The main reason that I got this one is that it requires such little light, almost like the snake plant. It just doesn't require much natural light at all. So I got this for our downstairs bathroom. So there you can see the info, the price, and I am just going to be planting that right in this plain basic terracotta pot. All right, and then here is how this one turned out. Next up, I have this last Pothos. This is the pearls and jade, and then this one is just going to be planted in this terracotta pot. I have these tiny little plants right here. Could not even find the name of these. They were $4 each, but what I really liked about these ones is that they look very similar to the rubber plant with the like different colorings, markings, variations in each of the leaves. I just think that the leaves are so pretty. I went ahead and picked up 2 of these. I'm going to be planting these both in 2 different pots. This one is absolutely beautiful. I love this. My cousin made this for me for Mother's Day. So this is such a special pot, and the way that she did this, took the ceramic pot and she Mod Podged this little floral pattern or image from a napkin, which is so cool. My cousin is extremely creative. Super awesome. I love this pot. It just reminds me of like my grandma's house, the napkins or the dinnerware that she used to use. Something gives me some old school vibes. So I love this little planter. And so I'm going to be placing one of those in here, and then the other one I am going to be using this basket. I did fold it down to add some character. I got this basket on Amazon, and then inside of there I have a little plastic starter pot that I am just going to be reusing from, I don't know, one of those plants that I planted today. So I just stuck that right in there. It fits really nice and snug. All right, so I successfully replanted all of these little adorable plants. I am so excited to bring these in and get them positioned inside of our home. I do still have the Monstera to plant, and I have this beautiful rattan plant holder. I have another terracotta pot. So I have some more planting to do, and I'm hoping that you will join me for that part 2 indoor plant video. Now I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if there are any easy to care for plants that I did not mention, because I would love to include some new ones into my collection. I definitely love caring for plants and bringing some life indoors, especially when we have these colder months coming up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to stop by in the comment section and say hello. Let me know that you guys are all doing good. I wish you all so much health and so much safety during these storms that we are all facing this year. If you could also give this video a big thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you part of my YouTube family. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.